Good evening, everybody. What do you do when you're in lockdown? We're still in lockdown. Steelers lockdown anyway. You're bored, you're sat at home, and you're looking for something to do. Well, many of you have done quizzes. So I thought to myself, I know what I'll do. I'll write a quiz. So here you are to keep you entertained. Don't say we never do anything for you. 5 rounds, 10 questions per round. There's no prize because most of you are going to cheat and go to Google anyway, aren't you? But it's just a little bit of fun. So when you've done it, put your marks up and be genuine. Just see how much you really do know your Steelers. Okay, so 5 rounds. Here is round 1, and it's titled Steelers Legends. Question 1. Which Englishman has played the most games for the Sheffield Steelers? Question 1. Which Englishman has played the most game for the Sheffield Steelers? Have a think. Question 2. Jeff Legui joined the Steelers in 2007. Which German club did he join us from? Leggy. It's Jeff Legui. Joined us in 2007, all those years ago. But which German club did Jeff Legui join us from? Question 3. Ken Priestley left the Sheffield Steelers at the end of 1999. After 3 seasons off, he returned to play 1 season with which British club in 2002-2003? So Kenny, the Messiah, he leaves the Sheffield Steelers at the end of 1999, and after a 3-season layoff, he returned to play for which British club in 2002-2003? Question 4. How many league titles did the Steelers win with Jody Lehman in goal? The great Jody Lehman. How many league titles did the Steelers win with him between the pipes? Question 5. Steve Munn had 2 spells with the Sheffield Steelers. He spent 1 year away between those 2 spells. But which team was that with? Okay? Steve Munn. 2 spells with the Sheffield Steelers, but 1 year between the 2 spells. Which team did he go to and then come back from? That was question 5. Question 6, it's an easy one for you. The Rocket Ron Shudra played 10 NHL games. For which team? Which team did Shuds play 10 NHL games for? That's question 6. Question 7, the wild thing. Turbo Tim Cranston. He made his British debut back in 1998 for which club? Well before he joined the Sheffield Steelers. Which club did Turbo Tim Cranston, when he was just plain old Tim Cranston, make his British debut for? That was question 7. Question 8. In the 2017 playoff run, which team did Jonathan Phillips score his only goal of the postseason against? That fantastic run in the playoffs in 2017. Jonathan Phillips scored 1 goal in the playoff run. Which team was that against? Question 9. After 8 seasons with the Sheffield Steelers, the Duke, Tommy Plummer, ended his career with which British team? 8 seasons the Duke spent with the Sheffield Steelers, but who did he end his career with? Which team? That was question 9. Question 10, the Golden Child. What a legend, Robert Dowd. Which Swedish side did Robert Dowd play for in 2012-13? Which Swedish side did the Golden Child Robert Dowd play for in season 2012-2013? There's round 1 for you. Your first 10 questions. How did you do? On to round 2. And round 2 is all about the 2019-2020 season. The one just gone. Question number 1. Name the Steelers' import goalie who started the year alongside Thomas Duba. Okay? Name the Steelers' import goalie who started the year alongside Thomas Duba. Question 2. Which Austrian team did both Aaron Brocklehurst and Michael Davies play for the season before joining the season? Which Austrian Ebel team did both Aaron Brocklehurst and Michael Davies play for the season before joining the Sheffield Steelers? The same team. Question 3. Which Elite League team did Marco Valleran play for in the 2017-2018 season? Marco Valleran. Which Elite League team did he play for in 2017-2018? Question number 4. Name the other British sides that Brendan Connolly has played for. Half a point for each. There's 2. That's the only clue you're going to get. But name the 2 other British sides, Elite League sides, that Brendan Connolly has played for prior to coming to Her Majesty's Sheffield Steelers. Question number 5. Which NHL side did Aaron Johnson play the most games for? In an illustrious career, which NHL side did Aaron Johnson play the most of his NHL games for? Question 6. Who scored the opening goal in the 2020 Challenge Cup final in Cardiff against the Devils? Which Steeler opened the scoring in the Challenge Cup final against the Cardiff Devils? Most of you are there. You should remember that one. Question number 7. Name the Steelers player who retired midway through the 2019-20 season. Which player retired midway through last season? And if you remember, got carried off the ice. Bit of a surprise, but it was a great night and a great way to end his time in Sheffield. Who was that? Question number 8. Who scored the most league goals out of Lemchikov, Davies, Tronsinski, or Armstrong? Nikolai Lemchikov, Michael Davies, Marek Tronsinski, or Big John Armstrong? Who scored the most league goals out of those 4 players? That's question 8. Question number 9. Which was the only East Coast Hockey League side that Aaron Fox played for? It was during the Steelers' Grand Slam season of 2000-2001. But which East Coast League team was the only East Coast League team that the Steelers head coach Aaron Fox played for? And finally, question 10. Who iced the most league games during the 1920 season? Was it Kuka, St. Pierre, Rabel, or Kolamainen? Out of those 4 players, Kuka, St. Pierre, Rabel, or Kolamainen, which one of those 4 played the most league games for the Sheffield Steelers? Those are your 10 questions of round 2. Round 3, coaches trivia. No, not the coach, the team bus. The coach, the guy who stands behind the bench, the boss. 10 questions on Steelers coaches or coaches related. Question number 1. Which Canadian university did Don McKee coach for 13 seasons before joining the Sheffield Steelers? The Professor, Don McKee. Which Canadian university did he coach for 13 seasons before joining us here at the arena? Question number 2. David Matsos. Which elite Ice Hockey League side did Dave Matsos make his debut for in Britain as a player? Okay, many years before he coached the Sheffield Steelers, which team did Dave Matsos make his elite Ice Hockey League debut for? You got that? Question 3. Steve Nemeth and Selmar Oderline played alongside which former Steelers coach in the 1989-1990 Team Canada season? Stormin' Steve and the Governor, Selmar Oderline. They played alongside one of our former coaches for Team Canada in 1989-90. Which former coach? Question number 4. Which former Steelers coach was involved in the famous Steelers-Panthers bench clearance brawl in February 2001? That night, though, he was on the home bench. Okay, which former Steelers coach was involved in the Steelers-Panthers famous bench clearance brawl in February 2001? But that famous night, this coach was on the home bench, not the Steelers bench. Question number 5. Who was the Steelers' assistant coach for the 1996 Grand Slam? The Steelers' assistant coach in 1996, our Grand Slam, our first Grand Slam. It was a proper Grand Slam, Nottingham, a proper one. And who was our assistant coach that year? Question number 6. Which side did Paul Thompson leave to join the Sheffield Steelers in 2015? Which team did Paul Thompson leave to join the Sheffield Steelers in 2015? There's question number 6. Question number 7. Name the former Steelers head coach who also led the Ayr Scottish Eagles and the Cardiff Devils. Which former Sheffield Steelers head coach led both the Ayr Scottish Eagles and the Cardiff Devils? Question 8. Who did Tom Barrasso win his 2 Stanley Cups with? Tom Barrasso, former Steelers head coach, who won 2 Stanley Cups. Which NHL side was that? It's an easy one, Sheffield, an easy one. Just giving points away here. Giving points away like the Edinburgh Capitals did. Question number 9. Who coached the most games for the Steelers? Dennis Maxwell, Rob Stewart, or Dave Whistle? Interesting. Who coached the most games for the Steelers? Dennis Maxwell, Rob Stewart, or Dave Whistle? Have a think. While you're doing that, we'll move on to question 10. Who replaced Ryan Finnerty as head coach of the Sheffield Steelers at the end of the 2013 Elite Ice Hockey League season? Who was Finner's replacement? Ryan coached us for 2 years, but when he left, who had his job? That's round 3. Round 4. How are you doing so far? Round 4 is about Grand Slams. Remember, the Steelers have won 2. Or have they won 3? We won all the trophies this year, didn't we? Anyway, let's focus on the other 2. Question number 1. Half a point each. What were the names of the 2 goalies that backstopped the Steelers to those 2 Grand Slams? Who backstopped the Steelers in 96 and 2001? Half a point each. Question number 2. Name the 2 backup netminders for the 2 Grand Slam victories. Again, half a point each. So questions 1 and questions 2 are linked. Question 1, the 2 goalies that backs up the Steelers to their 2 Grand Slams in 96 and 2001. And question 2, what were the name of the 2 backup goalies in those 2 Grand Slam years? Question number 3. Name the 2 teams, again, half a point each. Name the 2 teams the Steelers beat to win the Benson and Hedges Cup and the Challenge Cup that helped them win the 2001 Grand Slam. The 2 sides that the Steelers beat. Who did they beat in the Benson and Hedges Cup? And who did they beat in the Challenge Cup to help them win the 2001 Grand Slam? Question number 4. Paul Adey joined the Steelers midway through their Grand Slam year, but who did he replace? Paul Adey, the Nottingham Panthers legend who could never win a league title in Lower Parliament Street and had to come to Broughton Lane, had to come to the arena to win his ring. But who did he replace midway through that successful Grand Slam season? That's question 4. Question 5. Name the Steelers forward who was a part of both the 1996 and 2001 Grand Slam team. A Steelers forward who played in both 96 and 2001 for the Sheffield Steelers. Can you name him? Can you? Question 6. Which Steeler left the club early in the 95-96 Grand Slam season to join the Five Flyers? Which Steeler fled the nest, disappeared up north, and went to the Five Flyers early in that 95-96 Grand Slam season and missed being a member of the Grand Slam Steelers? Question 7. Who led the Steelers in goals and points in the 2001 Grand Slam season? Which Steelers forward led the Sheffield Steelers in goals and points in the 2001 Grand Slam season? Question number 8. Which German DEL side did Kent Simpson join the season after the Steelers' 2001 Grand Slam? Ken Simpson left the Steelers. He went to the DEL. Who did he join? That's question 8. Question 9. Who scored the most goals for the Steelers in their 1996 Grand Slam season? Not points. Who scored the most goals for the Sheffield Steelers in their successful Grand Slam season of 1996? Question 10. Who led the Steelers in penalty minutes in the 2001 Grand Slam season? A big season, plenty of fights, bench clearances, but who led the Steelers in penalty minutes in that 2001 Grand Slam season? That is round 4. Just one round to go. Okay, how are you doing? Here's round 5. It's just general. Anything goes. Question number 1. Who captained the Sheffield Steelers to the 2014 playoff championship? Who captained the Sheffield Steelers to the 2014 playoff championship? Question 2. Aaron Fox joined the Steelers from which Croatian side? Aaron Fox, the Steelers head coach. But who was he with the season before? Which Croatian side? Question 3. Who captained the Steelers to the 2004 League and Playoff Championship double? Tough one, that. Who captained the Sheffield Steelers in 2004 when we won both the League and the Playoff Championship? No checking Google. I can see you. I can see you on your phones. Question number 4. How many Challenge Cups have the Sheffield Steelers won? How many Challenge Cups have the Sheffield Steelers won? Question 5. Who backstopped the Steelers to the Elite Ice Hockey League's 2020 trophy in the 2009-10 season? It was that day that all the clubs got together at the Sheffield Arena. It was a terrific day. Jason Hewitt, ba-ching, he scored the goal that won the competition for the Steelers. We beat the Blaze in the final. But who backstopped the Sheffield Steelers in every game of that 2020 trophy victory? Question 6. Ron Shudra and Paul Thompson both scored goals for the Steelers in their official home opener against the Chelmsford Chieftains. It was a 3-3 draw. Shudra got a goal. Thompson got a goal. Who got the third goal? Who got the other goal for the Sheffield Steelers on our official opening night? Not the exhibition game against Durham the week before, but our first league game at home. Our second official league game after that previous night in Sunderland. Thompson, Shudra, but who else scored that third goal? Question 7. Who replaced Paul Heavey as head coach of the Sheffield Steelers? Question 7. Who replaced Big Heaves as head coach of the Sheffield Steelers? Question 8. Which former Steeler coached Levi Nelson during his season in Ritten in Italy back in 2013-2014? Which former Steelers player coached Levi Nelson in Ritten in Italy during that season in 2013-2014? Have a good think about that one. Question 9. Which team did Guillaume Debian join the Steelers from? Big Desi, the man who scored that huge goal for us played a year and a half with us. But which team did he join us from midway through a season? Can you remember? Final question. Question 10 of round 5. Question 50. How many seasons did the great Colton Fretter play for the Steelers? Frets, the Fretmeister, Colton Fretter. How many seasons did he play for the Sheffield Steelers? That concludes round 5. That concludes your quiz. Hope you haven't used Google. Hope you haven't used all the stat sites. Hope it's just killed half an hour for you and you've had a bit of fun. You've played off against the missus or you've played off against your mate in the next room. But good luck. The answers, well, they'll come shortly. How did you do? Are you as smart as you think you are? We're about to find out. Here are your 50 answers to your 50 questions in the Steelers quiz. Hope you enjoyed it. Bit of fun. Round 1 was about Steelers legends. Question 1, which Englishman has played the most games for the Sheffield Steelers? Well, Jonathan Phillips is Welsh. So, Jason Hewitt is the answer. 682 games. The Bulldog played for the Steelers. But your answer, Jason Hewitt. Question 2, Jeff Legui joined the Steelers in 2007. Which German club did he play for? And which club did he join us from? Landsberg 2000. We'll take Landsberg. Landsberg. You know I'm a devil for spelling. Question number 3. Ken Priestley left the Steelers at the end of the 1999 season. After a 3-season layoff, he returned in the 2002-03 season for which British club? The answer? Yeah, simple one, isn't it? The Dundee Stars. Question 4. How many league titles did the Steelers win with Jody Lehman in goal? The answer was just the one. I thought it was more than that at first. But of course, Jody led us to a couple of playoff championships, but just the one league title. Question 5 was Steve Munn. Steve had 2 spells with the Steelers. He spent 1 year away between those 2 spells, but which club was that? Toko Free Blades. I think it's Tokyo, but it's Toko Free Blades. Any Japanese team will get you half a point, but Toko Free Blades get you the full point. The simplest question of the whole quiz. Ron Shaw played 10 games for which NHL team? The Edmonton Oilers. He played on a line with Gretzky and Curry. How cool's that? Ron Shuja, 10 NHL games for the Edmonton Oilers. Oh, I'm disappointed if you didn't get that one right. Did you get that one right, Cole? You should have done. Question number 7. Which team did Turbo Tim Cranston make his debut for back in 1998? The answer? It was up in Kirkcaldy. It was for the Fife Flyers. Question 7. Your answer should be the Fife Flyers. Question 8. In the 2017 playoff run, which team did Jonathan Phillips score his only goal of the postseason against? Well, he might have only got one in the postseason, but what a crack it was. It was that short-handed breakaway goal, wasn't it, against the Nottingham Panthers. Your answer for question 8 is the Nottingham Panthers. Question 9. After 8 seasons with the Steelers, who did Tommy Plummer end his career with? Well, the answer? Hull Thunder. You don't get a point for the Hull Stingrays or the Hull anything else. It's the Hull Thunder. Question 10. Which Swedish side did Robert Dowd play for in 2012-13? The Golden Child. He played for Troja Ljungby. Okay, so I'll take half a point for Troja, half a point for Ljungby, and a full point for Troja Ljungby. Those are your answers of round 1. Let's move on to round 2. That was about the 2019-20 season, just gone by. Question 1, name the Steelers import goalie who started the year alongside Thomas Duba. The answer was, of course, Pavel Cantor. Answer 1, Pavel Cantor. Question 2, which Austrian elite team did Aaron Brocklehurst and Michael Davies play for the season before joining us in Sheffield? That team was EHC Linz, Linz. Brocklehurst and Davies both played for Linz before coming to Sheffield. Question 3. Which elite ice hockey league team did Marco Valleran play for in the 17-18 season? That, of course, was the Coventry Blaze. Question 4. Name the other British sides that Brendan Connolly has played for. Half a point each. You must get them both for the full point. The Belfast Giants and the Glasgow Clan. Those are your two answers of question number 4. Question 5. Which NHL side did Aaron Johnson play the most of his NHL games for? The Columbus Blue Jackets is the answer. Columbus Blue Jackets. Question 6. Who scored the opening goal of the 2020 Challenge Cup final against the Cardiff Devils? It was, of course, Michael Davies. Well done, Michael. Question 7. Name the Steeler who retired midway through the 1920 season. Pretty simple one. Eric Melland. Remember that night where we wished him farewell? Great night. Question 8. Who scored the most league goals for the Steelers out of Lemchukov, Davies, Tronsinski, or Big John Armstrong? The answer? With 15 goals, Nikolai Lemchukov. That should be your answer of question 8. Question 9. Which was the only East Coast Hockey League side that Aaron Fox played for? It was during the Steelers Grand Slam year of 2000-2001. It was the only full season he played in North America, and it was for the Peoria Rivermen. Half a point for Peoria, half a point for Rivermen, but a full point if you get it both. And finally, in round 2, question 10, who iced the most league games for the Sheffield Steelers in the 1920 season? Was it Kuka? Was it St. Pierre? Was it Rabel? Or was it Cullerminen? Well, with 23 games, it was Cullerminen. Those are your answers of round 2. Round 3 was the coaches' trivia round. Question 1. Which Canadian university did Don McKee coach 13 seasons before he joined the Sheffield Steelers? The professor was at University of Waterloo. That's your answer. The University of Waterloo. Question 2. Dave Matsos made his Elite Ice Hockey League debut as a player for which club? The answer? The Belfast Giants. Question 2. The answer is the Belfast Giants. Question 3. Steve Nemeth and the Governor, Selmar Odeline, played alongside which Steelers coach in the 89-90 Team Canada series? Of course, it was Mike Blaisdell. Answer 3, Mike Blaisdell. 4. Which former Steelers coach was involved in the famous Steelers-Panthers bench clearance brawl in February 2001? Only on this night, he was on the home bench. The bench of the Nottingham Panthers, it was, of course, Sir Alex Dampier. He was the assistant coach. Peter Woods was the head coach, and Damps was the assistant coach. Question 5. Who was the Steelers' assistant coach for the 1996 Grand Slam? That was, of course, Clyde Toole. Splendid fella. Top bloke. So Clyde Toole is your answer for question number 5. Question number 6. Which side did Paul Thompson leave to join the Steelers in 2015? The answer was the Aalborg Pirates. Paul Thompson left the Aalborg Pirates to join the Steelers in 2015. Question 7. Name the former Steelers head coach who also coached the Scottish Eagles and the Cardiff Devils. That, of course, was Big Paul Heavey. Question 8. Who did Tom Barrasso win his 2 Stanley Cups with? Of course, it was the Pittsburgh Penguins. Question answer is the Pittsburgh Penguins. This was an interesting one. Question 9. Who coached the most games for the Sheffield Steelers? Dennis Maxwell, Rob Stewart, or Dave Whistle? Who did you go for? 44 games? Rob Stewart. Yeah. You know what? For some reason, I thought it was Dennis Maxwell. But then when I looked it up, Rob Stewart. And finally, question 10. Who replaced Ryan Finnerty as head coach of the Steelers at the end of the 2013 Elite Ice Hockey League season? And the answer to question 10 is, of course, Doug Christiansen. So those are your 10 answers to round 3. How are you doing? Has anybody got 30? If you've got 30, you're definitely using Google. Right, here we go. Round 4. All about the Grand Slams. Question 1. What were the names of the two goalies that backstopped the Steelers to their two Grand Slam wins in 96 and 2001? Well, Wayne's World party time. It was Wayne Cowley in 96. It was Mike O'Neill in 2001. Half a point each. Half a point for Wayne Cowley. Half a point for Mike O'Neill. Question 2 was along the same track. Name the two backup netminders for those two Grand Slam successes. They were, of course, Marty Mackay, another brick in the wall, and, of course, Mike Torcher. Mackay in 96, Torch in 2001. In fact, Torch played all the games in the Challenge Cup, if I remember rightly. Question 3. Name the two teams the Steelers beat to win the Benson and Hedges Cup and the Challenge Cup that helped them win the 2001 Grand Slam. Well, the Steelers beat Newcastle and Ayr. Half a point for Newcastle, half a point for Ayr. Question 4. Paul Adey joined the Steelers midway through that Grand Slam year in 2001. Who did he replace? The answer? Another former Nottingham Panther, actually, Steve Roberts. Your answer to question 4, Steve Roberts. Question 5. Name the Steelers forward who was a part of both the 96 and 2001 Grand Slam. Pretty easy question. To answer that one, it was, of course, Lobby, David Longstaff. Question 7, David Longstaff. Question 8, which German DEL side did Kent Simpson join the season after the Steelers' 2001 Grand Slam win? It was, of course, the Schwenningen Wild Wings. Okay. Question 8, answer is the Schwenningen Wild Wings. Question 9, who scored the most goals for the Steelers in their 1996 Grand Slam victory? Give you a clue. Messiah Ken Priestley. He scored 58 goals in that 1996 season. That's why you get called the Messiah when you score that many goals. And question 10, and this was an interesting one. Who led the Steelers in penalty minutes in the 2001 Grand Slam season? I'm sure some of you would have gone Dennis Fial, but it wasn't the Dancing Bear. No, it was Scott Allison. Scott Allison had 197 penalty minutes and Dennis had 179 penalty minutes. So your answer is Scott Allison. Okay, on to round 5. Who's going to be our winner? It's just a general round 5. Question 1, who captained the Steelers to the 2014 playoff championship? Stephen Gertzen. Question 1 is Stephen Gertzen. Aaron Fox joined the Steelers from which Croatian side? The answer is Zagreb. Question 3. Who captained the Steelers to the 2004 League and Playoff Championship double? The Daddy, Dion Darling. You didn't have to put the daddy down. Dion Darling would get you the point. Question 4. How many Challenge Cups have the Steelers won? What did you put? Please tell me you didn't just put 1. You didn't, did you? Good. 5. 5 Challenge Cups the Steelers have won. 1999, 2000, 2001, 2003. That's dominance for you, isn't it? And then, of course, 2020. So 5 Challenge Cups. You didn't have to put all the years, but just the answer was number 5. Who backstopped the Steelers to the Elite League's 2020 trophy in the 2009-2010 season? Dan Green played all the minutes in that 2020 tournament at the arena. Well done, Greener. Top job. Question 6. Ron Shuja and Paul Thompson both scored goals for the Steelers in their official league opener. It was against the Chelsea Chieftains. It was a 3-3 draw. Thompson scored 1. Shuja scored 1. But who was the other scorer? The answer? Phil Lee. Question 6, your answer should be Phil Lee. Question 7. Who replaced Paul Heavey as the head coach of the Steelers? Your answer should be Dennis Maxwell. Question 8. Which former Steeler coached Levi Nelson during his season in Ritten in Italy during the 13-14 season? The answer is, pretty simple one this, isn't it? Rob Wilson. Question 8, Rob Wilson. Question 9, which team did Grion Debian join the Steelers from? It was Olympia Ljubljana. Okay, Olympia Ljubljana, beautiful city, and Desi left there to come and play a season and a half for the Sheffield Steelers. Question 9, the answer is Olympia Ljubljana. Half a point for Olympia, half a point for Ljubljana. You only get the full points if you go Olympia Ljubljana. And finally, question number 10. How many seasons did the great Colton Fretter play for the Sheffield Steelers? The answer? 4. Okay, Colton Fretter had 4 seasons with the Sheffield Steelers, lifting many trophies away. But those are your 50 questions. Those are your 5 rounds. We hope you enjoyed it. As I say, just a bit of fun. Hopefully you've made a few notes. Maybe you've even learnt a couple of things. But most importantly, you've killed half an hour and you've had a good time. Hey, thanks for sticking with us during this lockdown period with all the things we've tried to do, playing old games and looking back at old times. We've got lots more planned as well as we head towards a new season. But we thank you for that. And we also thank you for taking part in our shirt raffle once, twice a week. I know some of you get a bit miffed with how much we go on about it, but I can't tell you how much it helps the club. It's been a terrific success, and your Sheffield Steelers are very grateful for your support, and we thank you for it. So whilst you're online, just log on now and go and buy a ticket. They're only £1 each. Some nice shirts still available. But most of all, thanks for taking part in the quiz. Post your answers. See how many you got right. Without Google and without going on one of the stat websites. See you soon.